Hello, Renee Flamond here again. So to continue on the path of what we've been talking about this week, I want to talk about how to reject the narcissist that's hitting on you. There are things that you can say, you can call them out on their behavior, you can make them stop dead in their tracks and not realize, I called a narcissist, and he knew the word, and he said, I can't believe you just said narcissist. I'm jumping ahead, as I always do. But the last couple of videos, we've been talking about this. How to spot them. Why are they picking you? How to avoid getting into a trap with another one. We've been trying to pay attention to how we feel inside when we're out in the world so that we're not vulnerable to receive what they dish out. That's step one. If you can get that, and we'll talk about today how you can reject them. This has to do with confidence. And you might, I'm clicking off, I don't have any confidence right now, this video's not for me. Yeah, well, fake it till you make it. Because what happens is, okay, let me explain. Watching your reaction to them, not watching with your eyes, but being careful of how you react to them has a lot to do with if they're going to hang around and try to ensnare you, right? If you act like, I'm not saying snobby, that's not what I mean, but I tend to be everyone's cheerleader, right? It's in my personality. As a codependent, I want to make others happy. So they're telling me something about themselves. I naturally react with effervescence if it's good, with, probably this face if it's bad. Like, I feel what they're telling me, I go right through it. Not knowing the person was a narcissist, I gave all of that same to him. He tells me about his father. I'm like, oh. He tells me about something, and I'm like, Matt. He tells me about that. Oh, thank you. He gives me a compliment. Oh, my God. All of it. All of it. I didn't reject him in any way. I didn't hold him off in any way. I didn't give him even a yellow light. With my words, I might say, well, I don't really want to move that fast. But I've told you before, he showed up at my door 4 days after I met him. And I dropped what I was doing, took a shower, and went to dinner. That's not romantic. No, that's intrusive. I don't even know you. I was in the middle of painting. I had a whole night planned. My girlfriend, she's in Utah now, but she lived here for a little bit. She was living here. We were just going to hang out on the porch. I was painting in between. I wasn't going out. Shows up at my door, and I dropped everything. I didn't give him 1 ounce of a yellow light. And those yellow lights need to come from you on night one. Again, that's the first time you meet them. If you don't give them any yellow lights, red lights even give them. They're just going to, and they'll steamroll over those to try to break you down so that their ego gets built up. If they can melt your icy, demeanor, sure, they'll work on that. But if you put these things in place, confidence, absolutely you have to fake it till you make it. You don't need them. You're out to have fun. You're not out to meet someone. Now you might say, well, wait a minute. What do you mean? Like, okay, I met them online and now this is our first date. How am I supposed to reject them? You can do whatever you want. I had a first date from on the line. When I tell you the man spoke of himself for 3 hours, why did I stay? I was really interested to see how long it would go at that point. I knew I was not liking this guy. But it was harmless. We were eating. It was, fine. But I'm saying I was fascinated. 1 hour. 2, I'm not exaggerating. 2 hours, 3 hours. So there was finally a breath. This is how you reject a narcissist. And I said, he did not like this. I said, do you know that you've been talking for 3 hours and you don't know anything about me? And I think I mentioned this before to you guys, even recently, because I remember. saying it, but I said to him, I said, you just gave me details, names of people, what they do now, of a unit in the military that you were in 1987. I'm telling you, first, last names, what they're doing now, their kids, an operation, not classified detail, but in other words, I go, where's the 30-second commercial on your military? No. 3 hours later, he doesn't know where I'm from. Nothing. Didn't ask me one thing, nothing. Well, he might have known that because we met on the line. I'm sure I told him that, but you know what I mean? Nothing. So anyway, my way of rejecting him was saying to him, he goes, no, that's not true, whatever he said. I go, really? Do you know anything about me? Well, I just thought I, was talking and we'll get to, okay. I said, what do you want to know? He flubbubbed. He didn't want to know anything. He didn't care. He just wanted to talk about himself and land somebody who allowed him to do that. Land somebody who listened intently. Land somebody who was so interested in what he was doing. I told him I thought that was unacceptable and that I didn't like being in someone's company who did that. We talked a couple of more times and it was the same. So that was the rejection. Another narcissist I had to say right out loud, I told you this at the top of the video. I said, it was the same thing. Talked for an hour, this was, about himself. This time I only felt like doing it for an hour. So I said, do you realize you've been talking about yourself for an hour? And again, all the details. And I want you to remember something. When somebody's lying, they pile on unnecessary details. It sounds something like, well, we went to the restaurant. You know the one, her cousin owns it. Remember her cousin went through that thing on the snowmobile? I know. Well, anyway, after that, they opened a restaurant. The food's good. I had the veal. Although last time I had the eggplant, and I'm just... unnecessary details, which makes their story an hour into... it goes by fast. I'm not into it. I think it's a bad sign. I think they're lying to me when they do all those details. Unless you're good friends with someone and I'm asking you about... this guy's going on and on and on about his whole career. For 25 years, he did a certain thing and he's going on and on and on for an hour. And now he's retired and da-da-da-da. And that's the one I told you before. He asked me to go on a cruise. Night one that I met him. Now, a couple of narcissists ago, I did go on the cruise. It was like date 3. Oh, do you want to go on a cruise? I said, sure. I realized now, looking back, he already had that cruise booked because it was with friends on a big group trip. All he did was call and I bet change my name. I bet it was the girl he dated before me and now it's my name. It wasn't a special, you and I are arriving at this place and let's go away together. I should have rejected it, which I did with this guy. So he goes on and on for an hour. Then he gets into, do you want to go on a cruise? No, I said. And I said it like that. I twisted my face up. I go, are you out of your mind? I said it fun. But in the past, I've said yes. And I realized, oh no, I'm rejecting this. This is absolutely not okay. It's not romantic. He's not sweeping me off my feet. It's not whirlwind. This is the very first night I'm speaking to you at length like this. Other than to say hi, like in life, like in what, pardon me. And you're asking me to go on a cruise. I said, I don't even know you. We don't even know each other. This is the first, oh, we'll go on a cruise. We'll get to know each other. I'm so not going on a cruise with you. You have to use plain language when you reject them. That comes from confidence. I don't need this person giving me compliments. I don't need this person in my life taking me on a cruise. I don't need this person coming over here and taking up my time. I'm not lonely. That's confidence. If you don't have any of those things, fake it till you make it. So the rejection I had wasn't soft. It wasn't easy. I said, are you out of your mind? I'm not going on a cruise with you. I don't even know you. Cruise, that's reserved for someone that, you know what I mean? I jumped into it a couple of narcissists ago because why? I thought it was romantic. I thought it was a whirlwind romance. I thought I was being swept off my feet. Oh, sure. Only to have him do a 180 6 months later and discard me just as fast. Had I approached it carefully and said no to the cruise to the guy, this is several years ago now, but Had I said no to the cruise, no to all the things, he kept inviting me to all these functions and introducing me to business people. Had I said no and gone slow at my pace, he might not have been up to the task, and he might have moved on and found somebody easier to make swoon. So the guy, are you out of your mind? I'm not going on a cruise. We talked about we'll be friends, I said. You have to understand my path, I said. I'm going to get to know people, and I'm talking months and months. I'm not moving quickly into anything. If you want to become friends, and then if we get there, so be it. If we don't, we're friends anyway. We can always use more friends. Never heard from him again. This guy lives around here. He's been telling me for 10 years he's interested in me. Finally came over here and knocked on the door. His wife had passed away weeks before, asking me to go on a cruise. Weeks after his wife died. Weeks. Now, I don't care how lonely he might be or what the reason that, no. The urgency of that needs a flat out rejection. I'm not going on a cruise with you. I don't even think you should be out here thinking that you're going to date someone right now. Don't you want to grieve? And I kept trying to talk about the wife, and it was so uncomfortable. Flat out rejection. Flat out rejection. It really is about watching your reaction to them. They come at you in a club or out and you're with your friend. You're so beautiful. We've been using that example this week. And you could say something like, does that line really work on people? Does that work? Have you used that? Or how many times have you said that line tonight? These are little funny, polite ways that you can reject a narcissist because they're not ready for that. Oh, does that line work? Or how many people have you said that? What do you mean? I'm only saying it to you. I'm guaranteeing you that it's not only you that he said it to tonight. And again, like you say, well, I met him online. We met out and he's telling me I'm beautiful. Okay, so you can't use the line, how many people have you said that to tonight? But you could say, how many people are on your roster that you say that to daily? Or how many, don't make them think that you're biting. Oh, yes, thank you so much. You think I'm beautiful. Don't make him think that you're impressed by what he said or that you're moved by what he said. Again, it's not about being a snot or a snob, but you don't have to make him pleased by you accepting what he said. I used to feel as a people pleaser, that's an angle of the codependence. They gave me I got to make them feel good for making me feel good. Oh, thank you. That is so nice of you. And I'll come back with a compliment to them. No. If they're a nice guy, then they'll be a nice guy next week and next month, and then I'll give them compliments. But I'm not playing this back and forth compliment game. How to reject a narcissist once you spot them and they come over to you is very much about your confidence level. You have to say to yourself, I don't care what the guy says or what he looks like or what he promises you. It's night one, week one, even if it's month one. But we're talking about rejecting them, so it's right when you're meeting them. You have to be able to spot. The biggest thing that I've learned is they're very into looks, and they're very into talking about themselves, which ironically are the two things about narcissism that we all learn in the beginning when we learn about narcissism. That, you look at your own reflection, and they talk about themselves. That's what we learn, not this disorder. We don't learn this part until we're much later and go through it. So you have somebody that is talking about themselves constantly and worried about not only their appearance, but yours. Reject that person. And if they turn out that they're just lightly narcissistic in that way, and you turn out that they're a nice person and months go by and you've been with them, okay, fine, you can live with those traits. But a narcissist is going to come at you like that. I had a guy, talk about a narcissist, wicked, shredded body. Like all his pictures on the line, had no shirt. He looked like an Olympic athlete, okay? Now I'm 5'1", I was 118 this morning. I'm supposed to be 106, but whatever. I'm working on it. I'm not a big person, so it's not like I'm embarrassed or whatever, and you shouldn't be. I don't care if you're 170. Beautiful is beautiful, but I'm not embarrassed to stand up. This cat says to me, stand up, let me see you, because we did a FaceTime. This was about a year ago. I go, what? How to reject a narcissist? I go, what? He goes, stand up, let me see you. Now, part of me wanted to, because I felt good about myself. I was like, sure, I'll get it. But I said, oh, God. I said, I'm a petite person. I hail from petite people. I'm not getting up. I tried to be polite. No, get up. I got to see what you look like. I want to see if you know. I said, I assure you my pictures were taken yesterday. Because anytime I go online, I take pictures like that day and put them on. I don't understand old pictures. It doesn't even make any sense to me because the person's going to meet you and you're not going to look like your pictures. So there were pictures on there. He could tell what I looked like. And I'm like, no, I'm not standing up. You're making me feel like cattle. Like I'm not doing that. Rejection. And you know what? He got offended by me telling him that I was offended, that he was telling me to stand up so he could see what I looked like. Narcissist. I'm sorry. That's disordered. No way. You want me to stand up so you can look at me? What, like I'm on an auction block? How dare you? How dare you? FaceTime's enough of a they want to see what you look like and proof. That's all that is, by the way. But I relented. I said yes, whatever. Now you want me to stand up? You reject that. Shut that down. If something does not feel right to you, shut it down. That's the biggest thing I can tell you about rejecting a narcissist. Don't let them lead you to places that feel uncomfortable to you. Like that. You want me to stand up. Are you out of your mind? So anyway, didn't end up seeing that person ever. Never went on a date with that person. I thought that was disgusting. And he smirked. He knew why. There's only one reason that you're telling me to stand up, and what, you want me to spin? I'm going to spin. Get a handle on what's inside of you. If you are feeling vulnerable, go out anyway. That's fine. Get yourself cheered up and all that. You want to meet someone to distract you from have fun. Go on 6 dates in a week. Don't fall for any of them. Don't zero in on anybody, and don't let anyone convince you on night one that they are your Prince Charming. That is the biggest thing that I can tell you, because night one is when they get you. If there's no night one, or night one ends and you end it and say, you know what, you're fun and good luck, I wish you luck, and you leave with your friends and they don't have your number, you're out. You did it. You rejected the narcissist. Please keep all of these things in mind. Keep yourself safe. People start to go out and about. There's a lot of holidays coming up, holiday parties, this and that. I want people to keep themselves safe and not fall victim to any more of this. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Please go ahead and hit sub, like, and share. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you next time.